Hola Bandidos, ¿cómo estamos? Welcome to Mel's Magic. This is episode 2 of season 3. And I had a bit of a hiatus again over the past few days because I got stuck in my head. It's like precisely the danger. In any case, I'm happy to see you. And it's interesting because the card I pulled yesterday, which still applies to today, basically reflects exactly that, which I guess I need to apply to myself. It basically talks about the card was temperance in reverse. Entonces, it's precisely that I want to have more patience with myself. In reverse, it basically means, hey, you're trying to do too many things at the same time. You're feeling overwhelmed, and you're not having temperance, i.e., you're not having patience. And yeah, I got stuck in my head, and I thought, ooh, I can't I cannot post a video because I don't have anything wise to share. But then I thought, you know what? I'm just going to appear as things are right now, and maybe someone will resonate with the message as you are right now. And because I'm preaching about authenticity, well, I'm showing up authentically. And yeah, what has been happening was that I guess I put a lot of pressure on myself, and it's all stuff that we just do onto ourselves. No, there's nobody necessarily out there saying thou must do this and this, but there's always this nagging voice, at least I feel that, telling me, hey, you're not doing enough. Are you being productive enough? Are you being efficient enough? And then obviously resistance builds up because the teenager in me, or maybe the little version of me, is like, F you, leave me alone. I'm doing what I can. But anyway, this inner conflict arises, and it ends up actually creating more and more resistance, and I end up procrastinating more than I should. Had I just had I just nurtured the allowing voice, the voice that says, "Hey, you're doing the best you can. We know you're doing the best you can. Let's just do one thing at a time. We know you're getting a little bit overwhelmed. Let's just take a step back, write things down, make a list of things, and then try and prioritize and literally do one thing at a time." Instead of going with that voice, I went with the voice, with the critic I've been talking about, that says, "You're not doing enough. Look at you. You're a total mess. You're like chaos. You're incompetent. You're not doing things the way adults should be doing things." That kind of voice. So I went with the wrong voice, and basically felt pretty crap about myself, and then went into semi beating myself up for it, which leads to nowhere. We know this, but as I've been saying, it's so tempting because that pathway, that neural pathway, is already entrenched in there. And if we're not vigilant, and if we're not accepting and compassionate, and maybe just take it as a day of, okay, you're not feeling your best, let's just go with it, and let's just maybe not do 10 things, let's just do 2 things today, and it's fine. Instead of allowing that to happen, we beat up on ourselves. At least I did that because I expect myself to be performing at 100% all the time. So that's what's been happening in the past 3 days. And I'm sharing this with you because I guess there comes a question, well, how long are you going to linger in this self-pity puddle? And when are you going to just accept things and go with the flow again? Because it literally is, that's the choice, no? And I'm sharing this because we all dip into these moods or contrasting waves of emotions. And I guess the trick is just always to catch ourselves. At some point, I have to tell myself, okay, we know if we linger with this stream of thoughts, if we continue feeding this stream of thoughts, if we continue focusing on these kind of thoughts, it will just take us further down. So breathe, pause, take a step back, and refocus on things that are going well, on the things that you are accomplishing, on the massive leaps you have done over the past X years towards not necessarily self-improvement, but just unfolding instead of resisting. That's a huge leap. So let's focus on what is working instead of on what is not working, and have some goddamn temperance, patience with yourself. It's not easy. I'm super impatient, primarily with myself. So there we go. And I told you that I'm trying to implement this questioning several times a day. What would somebody who loved themselves do right now in this situation, in this puddle of mud? Would they keep on not pampering about, struggling in the mud and throwing mud about, or would they just stop and kind of clean themselves off and say, it's okay, we're gonna do better from now on again? It keeps taking this, picking yourself up and being the parent to yourself and being your best friend and being your best coach and being the one who gently pushes you in the right direction. And maybe pushing is the wrong word. Picking yourself up and plonking yourself back on this little boat that goes down the stream of allowance and goes down the stream of life, rather than struggling upwards, thinking you need to struggle and thinking that everything is hard. It takes vigilance. It really takes vigilance, patience, acceptance, compassion, and constant resetting. I guess, I get myself into trouble when I don't do that, when I beat myself up instead of picking myself up. So, yeah, vigilance is the order of the day. And what has helped me actually for the past few days is when I noticed that my mind was cluttered, yes, making a list and breaking tasks down into smaller, manageable tasks helps. And then actually getting that one step going and then creates momentum. And you're like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I can do another one of these steps. And then you see like, ooh, I'm getting closer to my bigger goal. But what also helped me was to literally declutter my space. So my mind was cluttered and I'm like, right, I see things around me that don't help me focus. And do I actually need these objects? Do they bring me joy? A la Marie Kondo. Are they even useful? I mean, ideally they're useful and bring me joy. If they're none of the two, it's like out. So I've decluttered my space, the house a bit. And that has created some positive momentum. And I encourage you to do that. If you can't seem to, from the inside, declutter your mind, then try decluttering your environment, and that will reflect a clearer mind. It has helped me over the past few days. And if you are also impatient with yourself, try and apply maybe what I've been doing. And instead of beating yourself up, pick yourself up as if you were literally your own best friend, as if you were a caring mentor or coach to yourself instead of your own worst enemy. And trust me, I've been there before. All my life, I've pretty much been my own worst enemy. So I'm trying to embody and practice this new way of being, which means loving myself, which means accepting myself and forgiving myself over and over and over and over again, as many times as it takes. It literally, it's not like I'm going to run out of this kind of credit where it says, oops, you have no more credit to forgive yourself. No, we're going to forgive ourselves as many times until like infinitum. We're not going to run out of the capacity to forgive ourselves, because if we do, then we're in serious trouble. Males, I'm going to leave today at that, and may you declutter your mind, and may you have some patience with yourself, and let's tell ourselves we're doing the best we can, and probably we're doing not better than anyone else, and it's not about better, but we're probably doing better than we give ourselves credit for. How about that? Vale? So, well done. Well done. Y con esto me despido, and I wish you a good Friday, and I'll see you for episode 4 coming up soon, ¿vale? Un beso, abrazo. Chao.